until I got to 1,000. So I like spread it out throughout the days.
So when you're doing that, and as the weeks were going by, how much more confident were you getting in your shots? And when did you start feeling more confident, like, oh, okay, I can actually do this in game?
Yeah, I would say, well, first just seeing my progress, like my percentages going up, and then just incorporating it too. When we had like open gym and stuff like that, just getting some game reps in, and I started to feel more confident.
Do you mind telling us what the percentage is? Or?
Like somewhere like the 70s, something like that. It just all depends, but just say live in practice, like 40, something like that.
Okay, that's awesome. Have any other players said anything to you about it, giving you tips on better ways to release your shot?
No, just more the coaches, Coach Davis and Coach Lebo, two of the greatest shooters at UNC. So having them be able to critique my jump shot is helpful.
You think you're gonna be pulling up in games for threes? Is that?
Yeah, Coach Davis actually told me today, he was like, you better see me shoot some threes in late night. So it's kind of crazy to think that like he really wants me to shoot a lot of threes.
Outside of shooting, three-point shooting, what do you think you've improved on most from the end of last season to right now?
I would say just as a leader, just communicating, bringing the guys together, doing like different team meetings, stuff like that, just getting into that role as a leader.
Who are the leaders on the team?
I mean, like me, Caleb, we've been the more like vocal guys and stuff like that.
How have you seen Caleb kind of evolve since he got here? You know, he's a big-time recruit, and maybe last season didn't go the way he expected, but how have you seen him kind of grow and change from that?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely gotten a lot better just as a decision maker, and just like the way he tries to score the ball has been a lot more just simplifying the game. And I mean, I feel like he's gonna make that huge freshman to sophomore jump, probably even bigger than mine I had last year.
What makes you say that?
Just, I mean, this year, for his game, it'll be a lot more spacing. He like to drive the ball, so just having more of a 4-on-1 end will make it a lot easier for him to have more driving lanes, and he got a lot more shooting now, so teams have to be a lot more honest and not play so much off into the gaps and stuff like that.
Where have you seen him improve the most from last season?
Definitely just like on the turnover side and the shooting side, he's been a lot more confident in the way he's been shooting the ball. And just he's been feeding me a lot better. You know, got a better feeling like where I like the ball is. So I feel like everything will go up this year.
How's it been feeling for you so far with the extra space and not having the middle clump so much that you can kind of really do your thing now?
Oh yeah, it's been great just getting one-on-one coverage. I feel like at the college level, being one-on-one versus anybody in the paint, I feel like I have the advantage. So that'll be great, but just also being able to have teammates that can knock down shots and make threes. All of our transfers are really good shooters. Kerwin a better shooter, RJ, and Caleb will be more improved shooters. So I feel like we got a chance to go from the worst shooting team in the ACC to probably the best shooting team.
What do you think starting Lapson looks like? Do you have any idea?
Nah, I don't have any idea. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
What feedback can you get from the NBA that's most beneficial to help you with your development this year?
I would say just trying to be really great at something. If that's offensive rebounding, setting good screens, guarding space, just focusing on something and being great at that, but also improving everything else too.
Which has been the easiest to translate into rebounding during the offseason so far?
I would say guarding space. That's something I take pride on. And me being a bigger guy, it's fun being able to go out there and compete and guard smaller people. That's maybe quicker.
You already talked about it a little bit, playing with new players, maybe the transfers and how their skill sets come from yours, but how did your skill set is expanding a little bit and you were the most experienced in that big-man rotation. How do you expect that to play out for the court? What are some things you want to do as far as how the team's been operating in years past?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a lot of fun just playing with the more versatile guys. Like, it allows us to do more. So, like, the way we get in offense is usually like a transitional, like, break one man at the top of the, one big at the top and keep one down low. But now it's like other ways we can get into it. So, like, we'll, like, let's say one big man to push the ball up the floor, and we had the guards on the wing and have a big in the short corner. So it's just a lot of different looks, and teams can't really just pinpoint and think on like what we'll get into just based on the tradition and this other way.
Hey Armando, what was it real quick with the bicep? Like, what was the story behind that?
So one of the media guys, Brandon, he actually somewhere around here. We just did it as a joke. We saw a lot of NBA players had like the pictures and like they was getting drunk, so we thought it'd be funny. So he was like, "You should do it and put it on Twitter." So I was like, "All right, I'll do it and just see." But I wasn't expecting it to blow up like that, but it was kind of funny.
And I mean, like, is it reflective of any change you were trying to make during the offseason? Like, were you trying to bulk up during the offseason, or were you trying to get stronger?
Yes, definitely. I wanted to gain a little weight because I got back from like into the season when I said I was coming back. I weighed myself and I was like 232, and like just getting a chance to work at the NBA works and stuff like that. I knew I had to get bigger because I mean that's the level I want to go to. A lot of guys I'm playing against like 250 and stuff like that. So I want to get bigger, and so now I'm like 245.
Talked about your shooting a little bit. What have you had to tweak or change with your form or anything? What have you really been working on to get going better shooter?
Just I would say the speed of my shot because I had a slower release, and also just getting the ball more like in the middle. I was shooting more towards the side, so getting in the middle and just following through to the basket.
Is it 1,000 per week? Is that
1,000 per week? But it ended up being like a lot more than that because I don't count in like practice reps and stuff like that.
the goal was 1,000 a week?
1,000 makes.
1,000 makes a week.
Oh, yeah.
So being efficient last year in spurts of the year and showing your dominance, how important is it for you to show that throughout the year and continue to have that throughout the year to be the rock for Carolina?
Yeah, last year I thought I was pretty consistent, but just being able this year to take it up another notch because obviously I don't have the we had three other great bigs and we all kind of did some of the same stuff. So just being like the lone like post player, but also being able to do other stuff, I feel like I can take it up even more notch.
So if 1,000 makes is the goal, how many takes does it take to get to 1,000?
Oh, I don't know. It all depends.
As many as it takes,
Depends
huh?
on the week. I don't know. I try to be somewhere in between the 65-70% range.
Okay. That's a lot
Anywhere
of
in
shots.
between that. So yes, a lot of shots though.
Are you tired?
Oh yeah, my arms have got tired. I'm used to it now.
So how has the coaching change been?
It's been great. Coach Davis is still, like you said, still the fundamental Carolina values, but just adding a twist to it has been great. It's kind of like you say like an iPhone update, like software update. You get,
So
it's like a newer version.
So practice easier or harder now?
Practice, it's been a lot of running, the same. The thing different now, we don't run as many 33s as we used to, but it's still a lot of up-tempo running.
From a personality standpoint, not just the practice plan and everything and the thought of the day, what's been the biggest difference of how dealing with him and you don't get any digums and that kind of stuff anymore. So what's it been like from that respect?
It's been a little different. I still get that from Coach Williams though, because he in practice sometimes and he like to mess with me, but Coach Davis, I mean, it's kind of funny because you hear him saying some of the same stuff, like same exact quotes that Coach Williams said. It's just funny to see him say it now in the head coaching role, and we're thinking like, oh, we sound just like Coach Williams.
They probably both learned it from Coach Smith too.
Exactly. They all carry on the same type of lingo or the way they say stuff.
So if he's an iPhone update, does that mean he's a little slightly more technologically or modernized than Coach Williams?
Exactly, yes.
How
Exactly. Yeah, so just like you said in the press conference earlier, just like with a spacing standpoint of view, just different ways of getting into the secondary. And we also got like a freelance we get into off the secondary, and that's something we didn't do in the past. So, yeah. Yeah, just coming from Richmond, that's something I always wanted to do. I saw a lot of the guys from the past, like former UNC player Ed Davis. He would host a Richmond camp for a free Richmond camp for a lot of inner city kids. So that's something that I always wanted to do, and just being able to give back and use my name image and likeness to like get sponsors so I can have a free camp for everybody. It's great.
Armando, what does your leadership look like?
It's funny you asked that. It's a learning experience because it's my first year since like high school for real, just being able to lead a team. So it's a lot different though. Like this year we got like a lot of goals we set and we got it hung up in the locker room. That's something we didn't do in the past. And just this year we're holding each other a lot more accountable and being able to have those conversations of things we don't like or do like amongst each other as players.
You have a lot of newcomers on the team. How have you ushered them into Carolina?
Well, I mean, like Justin, he grew up a Carolina fan, so he kind of already got like a feel of how it is. And I mean, they all kind of experienced in a way. Brady played 5 years, so it's a lot of stuff he can bring to the table for the team. And he's so smart, and he kind of a fast adjuster. He's been learning everything. Dawson, he's been great too, been a hard worker. So it really hasn't been much I've really been having to say to him. They kind of got it all in them already.
Armando, I gotta. You look a lot smaller than that picture that went viral. Can you explain like what that was?
Yeah, one of the media guys, Brandon, he here. We saw a lot of the NBA players, like their pre-season pictures. They were like all jacked up, but it obviously was Photoshop. So he said, like as a joke, we should put it on Twitter and just kind of see the reaction we got. So we ended up doing it. It ended up going more viral than we thought.
Coach Davis mentioned